Why, hello YouTube. Welcome back. This is BalorMage again, and we have made a new build. This one is not nearly as bad as the last one, but and actually has promise, but it ain't there yet. We are still down in the like 500,000 DPS range right now, but I will be fixing that. So today's video is more of a introduction to the build, the mechanics I'm trying to use, and just basically a showcase of the basic idea. So we've decided to do a CI Reave Trickster, and we're going to be using the Ephemeral Edge, the new Ephemeral Edge, because it has the attacks with this weapon have a added maximum lightning damage equal to 20% of your maximum energy shield. So we're scaling energy shield to scale our damage. Anytime you get to scale a defense and an attack and an offense, like your defense scales your attack, always in the past has ended up pretty good. So we haven't min-maxed this at all. This is actually, it's spent a single day in maps, and it was a short day at that. So we're just leveling up, getting passive points. Those things are pretty important, especially because we do have to scale that energy shield up. We finished the day at about 9k energy shield, which is not enough. I'm aiming for at least 10, hopefully about 11 would be good. So you can see in the back, we've got some problems. Our attack speed, pretty low. Not entirely sure how I'm going to fix that yet, but we will fix it, hopefully. But we're using a few extra things here. You may notice in the background that we have some weird looking power charges. So we're going to jump in game and show off the weird things we're using. All right, here's my character in the end game. As you can see, attack speed quite low. In my hideout, you can see Reave looks like it's quite low area, but in the video you saw at the beginning, you will have noticed it wasn't. That is because we get 50% more area of effect for each stage. And so we're running around most of the time with 8 stages, giving us a buttload area. So the clear will be fine. So there's a few things we're using. One, I wanted to use new Trickster. I do like the action speed, but that's not the real point here. The real point here is actually Overleach. Overleach is incredibly powerful. It basically means that I am always at full leech effect all of the time. And it does also mean that I get that 20% attack and cast speed while leeching all the time. And it also means that both leech parts of this gem work. So there's the energy leech support gem has the 2 lines. Supported skills deal 15% more damage when on full energy shield and 25% more while leeching. It's normally pretty hard to get both of those, but they are actually separate more multipliers. And this build uses both of them pretty much all the time. So that's fantastic. And the second thing, and perhaps my favorite thing, and the thing that made me want to try this build the most, was Graven Secret Cloth Belt. Now, I picked up a corrupted one, and actually double corrupted one for, I think it was 80 chaos. Apparently nobody wants these, but it's got a decent amount of energy shield. Corruptions are great. The most important part, modifiers to minimum power charges instead of apply to minimum absorption charges. Maximum absorption charges equal to maximum power charges. Gain absorption charges instead of power charges. So you can see we've got 6 of them. And so the big thing here is that absorption charges, when we pull up the wiki, players recoup 12% of elemental damage taken as energy shield per absorption charge. I have 6 of these, so it is 72% of the elemental damage taken is recouped as energy shield. That also does not stop when full. So I have 72% of elemental damage taken recouped, and I have Overleach, and I have, with flasks up, 43,000 evasion. So I also have my 3 endurance charges, no armor, so that's all the physical mitigation we get. Not a lot of physical mitigation, but we do avoid a lot. All the elemental recovery in the world. No suppression needed. This character has been quite tanky, to be honest. Damage and attack speed have been problems that we will overcome, but it has been quite tanky. We are using also the Eternal Struggle to get that 15% cull. That's pretty nice. I'm not 100% sold on this amulet yet. There might be better options. I also do have, let me put my gems back in again. I also do have one free socket that I don't need for anything, which means I could fit another aura somehow if I could work out my mana. But this is day one of running the build. So you will also notice that we have 2 endurance charges and 2 frenzy charges and 3 endurance charges that don't go away. 2 of them come from the shield. It is a pretty badly rolled shield. I will have to recraft this still, but it comes with the 2 minimum endurance charges, which is where god damn, I keep saying the wrong thing. The 2 minimum frenzy charges, which is very nice. Our absolution charges are coming from Grand Spectrum jewels. We've got +1 to minimum power charge there. And then we have +1 to minimum endurance there, which is where we get our 3 endurance charges from. And we have our +1 to minimum power charge there. We've taken that power charge on the tree plus that one, plus the one on the belt, gives us 6. So we're getting all of that recoup. We are currently using a split personality because this is a pretty long track. And so split personality works really well when you do this. It also means, even though I have a 12-point cluster to get a bunch of energy shield, basically, I'm not actually connecting here because while taking this for 1 point does up my energy shield and damage very slightly, it's not actually worth the point to lose the extra points we've got to the split personality here. So we have a 12-point cluster that will take 11 points in. Other than that, I also bought this Lethal Pride, which was relatively important. 5% chance to deal double damage, but the most important part, intimidate enemies on hit, so they take 10% increased attack damage. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, I don't have a lot more to say about this build. It is still in the work it out stage. I just wanted to give everybody sort of a showcase of the mechanics we're working with, the things we're trying to use. This might be a little bit of a theme moving forward, as I'm gonna try and use some stuff I've never used before, try and make a bunch of different builds, see how things function. It is where I think all of my fun is going to come from for the rest of the league, at least as long as I stay in trade. So yeah, doing some weird stuff. I will link the path of building of how this is in the description. The TLDR of the path of building, though, is that we are currently only doing just under 500,000 single target, which is not great. I am going to consider this build a success if I can get it to over 3 million. So I'm looking for 3 million, and I am willing to spend money on it. I'm looking for 3 million DPS. I would also really like to get the attacks up to about 6 per second at least, so that it can feel a little better, but we'll see if that can happen. All right, that was the intro. There'll be another video on this one in a few days with all the changes that I can think of to make it as good as possible, and some min-maxing, and then, you know, a suggestion of whether or not it's fun and worth playing or not. But right now, I'm enjoying it, and I will see everybody next time.